Everyone, I'm live on YouTube and going live on Instagram. Yay, I'm hoping this works. Let's see if it'll work. It's working. It's working. High tech. How do you like that? Okay, so I'll wait for everybody to join here. Hello there, Hugo. You go where I go. We're doing a little live with me and Dr. Nan when she joins. Hi, Carlos, Tom. Hello to all. Oops. Uh-oh, here I go again with that. Oh, I'm supposed to hang on and wait for them. Thank you, the Joker. Thank you for the compliments. I hope everybody's good. Here we go. We're going to get Dr. Nancy on. Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce coming on the show. And we are connected. Hi, there you are.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, better now.
Well, is that because you got some wine going? Cheers.
A little bit of wine.
I got
I will serve. So I've got Facebook going, so
and I got
told me to give my husband a hug for them. So Serena, I definitely will, and I'll make sure I'll do your usual hug that you give him.
So people on YouTube, I'm also on Instagram. People on Instagram, I'm also on YouTube. We've got Dr. Nancy here, who's on Instagram with me. She's also on Facebook. So we got it all. We got it all going on. Yeah. Someone told us something already
we
here.
We are all over the place.
We are talking about it. Yeah, you might not be able to hear me that well.
Let me just show everybody. All right, so I got all tangled here. So this is Karen and me and you, and so she's in the Instagram box.
So I'm Instagram.
But you can also find her at Karen Lee Potter, and that's you're on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm like Nina Harley. Thank you for sharing. This guy's. Here we got.
You become the TikTok queen.
I love TikToking away. That one guy, Fernie, says, I'm taking a 45-year-old out and I'm 27. Woo hoo hoo. Have fun with that 45-year-old.
Awesome. Hang on to your hat.
Hang on to your hat is right.
45-year-old.
So we just had this interesting discussion. A couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. Someone just wrote me a letter about he's got a foot fetish. Big shoe person with feet, and he I'll let me.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah. So here I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, assuming I could find it here amongst all the high tech stuff. I have a few questions, comments to share with you. He's into, I make friends with women by giving them compliments on their shoes, high heel and platforms, even though some of the women I met are not my friends. The reason why I compliment the shoes is because I love to see their beautiful feet. The problem is that I always wanted to smell a woman's feet. One time when I was with my friend, she was 46 years old with blonde hair. She wore 3-inch black platform flip-flops. I tell her that what I'd like to do about those shoes, and she said they're comfortable. Then I asked her if I could feel her shoes. But no matter, she started laughing. It made me feel sad. I felt rejected. My plan was to grab her shoes, just feel them, then pretend that her shoes smell good and ask if her feet smell. If she said yes, then I would ask her if I could smell her feet, only if she let me. But then that didn't happen at all. I don't know what to do. I want to smell women's feet, but I don't want to get into trouble with the federals or lose my friendship. Could you please give me an advice on loving women's feet? There's one more thing I'd like to ask. Do you by any chance have platform flip-flops? I ask because I hear that you give away. I hear that you do giveaways, and I would like to have a photo of your feet in a platform flip-flop as a free gift. Thank you. Well, how about this? I'll just show my foot right now. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what I heard? That sometimes people develop this foot fetish because they're shy when they're little boys and they look down when they're talking to like their mom's friend or something, and they get turned on. And so from then on, they have this like a little like positive reinforcement when they see women's feet.
I think there's a lot of theories about all kinds of things that we like, where it began. And if you think about it, fashion magazines, any kind of pinup girls or Playboy magazines, very rarely are girls barefoot. And oftentimes they're in high heels. Strippers wear high heels, right?
Yeah.
Most strippers, unless they're doing it for athletics, are wearing high heels.
I can't even walk, let alone climb a pole with those heels.
So I think that there is a connection between, sexy sexuals that eroticizing women and the shoes and the feet, because it
totally
does change the shape of your foot and legs. And
I'd like to ask our audience. Do you guys all love women's shoes or to see women wearing shoes? What do you guys think about that? Thank you for that.
Someone asked are you into women's shoes? I know I have a lot of followers that are women's shoes, women's feet. And when did you know that this was something that turned you on?
Good question.
What age were you?
I would like to say that my feet look like Fred Flintstone's feet. They're like a square. They don't look, I'm telling you, I can show you that. My feet, I'm going to be double jointed. I'm showing my YouTube feet. This is not easy, and I have not had a sip of wine yet, but here we go. I'm going to try to show my feet to Instagram people. That's the foot, okay?
We almost got a crotch shot.
You almost got the crotch shot. I tried to give you what you wanted, but I just got back on YouTube on Instagram, so I can't show anything about any crotch at all, which I don't understand how I could have been banned from that in the first place. I was banned off for 2 weeks, so I don't want to get banned off again.
There's a lot of assholes out there that like to report people who don't do anything wrong. They're just jealous,
I got friends of mine on there that are like literally nude, and they're getting away with, having their Instagram and for you, what's it called, for your OnlyFans page and all that. Meanwhile, all I'm doing is showing my feet off, and I'm getting banned.
Just, there's no rhyme or reason. So let me see your haircut. I haven't seen you since you got your haircut.
Yeah, thank you for, I was getting my hair styling advice from Dr. Nan. I like this length. It's like shoulder length. It's not too long. It's not too short. I can put in a ponytail. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy, and thank you for your advice. Somebody named Feet Penguin just joined us on Instagram. I have a couple of, let's see. Okay, now Eric is being obnoxious because he said I was shy as a little boy, and I would hide in the crack of mature women's asses. See, this is why I get banned. Okay, let's see. Kevin says, do you think it's okay to lie about your age on dating sites in order to match with older women? No, I don't believe in lying.
No.
Bad. If, I'll be honest, when I met my boyfriend, for whatever reason, I told him I was 1 year younger than I was. I don't know why.
1 year?
Yeah. You can tell I'm not a good liar. I told him 1 year off.
No, really? Well, I have a theory about age and honesty. I think if you're going to lie for a woman, lie older.
Absolutely. Yeah. And why?
Lie older. I mean, add an extra 10 years because people will go, damn, girl, you look good.
You look good for 88 years old, for crying out loud. You look great. Yeah, why are you going to tell them?
I'm 75.
If I said I'm a 35-year-old girl, they'd be like, well, you look like shit.
Yeah, you don't ever, women, you don't, and guys always lie older, which is kind of interesting.
Isn't that crazy? And the same thing
So-
with their height. Don't lie about your height either, because obviously when you meet the person, if you tell someone you're 6'2" and you're 4'11", it's gonna be obvious.
Yeah, we can tell how tall you are.
The Joker thinks I have very beautiful feet. I mean, seriously, it's not one of my best traits. First of all, they're very small, and they're wide. They're like little bricks. And yeah, I don't really. I honestly don't.
Don't size shame yourself.
I'm size shaming my feet because the truth of the matter, I don't really give a crap. as long as they work and I can walk, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Something's weird here because your soundtrack is off.
Oh, here we go again. Oh no. Should we wait a minute?
See if it'll catch up.
Oh, you know what happened?
When I'm talking.
Yeah, let me see if I can lock up this. Maybe I should I sign off and log on again? I will. I'll sign off and log on again.
Okay. All right. We'll be back.
Give us a second here, you guys. All right, trying to get the Instagram wanted people back here. Meanwhile, where were we? You know what they say about women's feet? What do they say about women's feet? Let's see. How do I get a big dick fast? Don't worry about the size of your dick. That's very silly. All right, we're waiting on Dr. Nan is coming back on again. If you have a question, just throw it up here. Let's see. I had 20 years. I'm in my early 20s. Wow. Older women make me go crazy. What is it about older women? By the way, so while Dr. Nan is coming back on, here she comes. Make sure that you check out my book. It's called Fuck Games, Date Cougars. I want you guys to go buy this. It has the answers to all your prayers and questions. And here she comes. The most exotic of exotic lifestyles is coming on. And here she is.
Hi.
Is that better?
Yes. I think it's almost like we had two videos going at the same time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what happens. If I don't turn off I put on airplane mode and we get interference. Speaking of now we do have a question. It says inbox. I don't know what inbox means, but inbox was the question. And let's see.
Well, they probably message you inbox, so they probably should just put it out here because you can't go into the inbox while we're live.
No, if I do that,
we don't answer.
It's going to be.
We don't answer questions in the inbox during the live. If you can't ask it out here, you can't ask it.
Well, it looks like I
gotta wash your hair.
You gotta wash your hair.
What's that?
You got a wandering hair. Let's see. Yeah. How should a man react if a woman starts a conversation by saying, "You're too young for me"? Is this some kind of test? Yes, it's a test. And also read my book, Fuck Games, Date Cougars. You know what? I have my own advice about what to do when you immediately get shot down because of your age. Pretend you didn't hear it and keep going with it, or make a joke about it. You know. You know, you could say something like, if someone says, you know, what did he say exactly, that you're too young for me? Then you say, it just means I got more stamina. You know, I don't know. Say something funny. You know, use your sense of humor and just ignore it. It is a test. It's a freaking test. I've played those games as an older woman because you're just kind of like checking to see if is this guy really hitting on me or is he just being obnoxious. But if he's really hitting on you and he's gonna you know, you throw that out and you don't lose anything. Anyway, well, that's what I would do.
And I think you can always just say, you know, I'm sure that for most of the time that would be completely appropriate. But how about we just have a conversation and see if we have anything in common?
Yeah, let's just talk and share ideas.
I'm not trying to bag you. You know,
Yeah.
I'm interested. You look like an interesting person. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You're beautiful. You're, you know, I mean, you don't even address the age thing. Just go, well, I can see why you would feel that way. You know, I'm sure a lot of guys that, you know, that appear around my age might be turn off.
But that just shows you how different I am.
Yeah. And you just have to say, well, I'm just interested in having a conversation with you. You know, what does age have to do with that?
Yeah. I want to learn about what your passions are, what's your taste in music. What do you got there? MILF Man. Do you and Dr. Nan prefer to be called beautiful, sexy, hot, or stunning? Also, does it matter when you first meet a cougar? Which one do you like the best? Beautiful, sexy, hot, or stunning?
It depends on who it's coming from. I mean, I think beautiful is always appreciated. You know, sexy or hot. For me, that's a little bit more forward and
aggressive.
I prefer that to come from. I prefer that to come from somebody that I know and that I'm attracted to. If I'm not attracted to them or I don't know them and that's a total stranger, it feels creepy.
I agree. Yeah. So, and the other one was stunning.
Right. Stunning. I like stunning too.
Stunning works. You know what? As long as it's said with genuineness, I don't think any of the words matter. It's the way you say it and when you say it, you know.
And don't add on the end, hon, babe.
Oh, I don't
darling,
like when I agree.
Sweetie.
Yeah, it's too forward.
No qualifier.
It's too forward.
It's patronizing. You know, it's like.
Who are you?
Only people that know me and love me can say that stuff to me. It's like, that's private. That's a really personal endearment.
Yeah, I get that a lot though. So don't go calling anybody babe. Hey there, Hurt Locker. I just want to say hi to you guys that I missed so far and announce your presence here because I have to scroll. Karen's answer, all of the above. I'm too young to just talk to you. That's ageism. Ageism. Yeah. Let's forget about the age for a minute and just talk like human beings.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think, you know, I think if somebody, but you might just look too young too, you know, like there's a certain age of person that you feel like they look so immature that it feels like you're with your little child, even if they're an adult. They still have a immaturity to them that just doesn't match with how
you don't wear a tuxedo or anything, but try not to be like what you wear to a frat bar. What's the matter?
Right.
Oh, I thought
can you guys on Facebook, can you guys hear Karen?
Can you hear me? If you can let us know. Karen? What's the best way to not come up?
I'm talking to myself. If you can't hear her.
Yeah, well,
your volume.
But I do agree with everything you're saying.
No.
Karen, it says, what's the best way to not come off as creepy or pervy? And I mean, just look the person in the eye and be genuine and don't use the one-liners. Like some guy walked up to me and said, is your last name Campbell because you are good? You're so hot, you're burning up my monitor. Don't use those stupid ass one-liners. Okay? It's much, much better if you guys would just be yourself and be genuine and you're not going to come off as creepy.
I wonder where they get that. You know, like who weren't you a part of some course where they were trying to teach people about
the pickup lines?
How to pick up girls and things?
Yeah, I wasn't part of the course. I just happened to be on stage with the pickup artists and man, they have a different philosophy than my son and I do on Sex Talk with My Mom. Have you guys listened to the podcast yet? We're gonna plug a little my podcast, Sex Talk with My Mom, and then Dr. Nan's gonna plug exotic lifestyle events and her coaching, right?
Yeah, my client list is growing crazy, and also I'm creating a 12-week program, a Zoom course that is going to be on sexuality throughout the lifespan.
Love it.
So
you're never too old to have good sex.
Well, it's going to be from birth to death, our sexuality. And it's going to be in growth and development and also relationship maturity.
Yeah.
And how sexuality changes. So I'm excited. I've been working on the outline. And
are you going to have anything about cuckolding?
No, I'm not going to talk about sexual preferences in this one. I have another course that talks about sexual proclivities. This is really going to be just more, a little bit more biology based and maturity based in terms of, and blending it with really the sociologic stages of development of human life. You know, what's normal for an infant in terms of sexuality? Because we're sexual from about 12 weeks in utero, when we can have sensation. 12 to 16
Why
weeks.
Doesn't that surprise me that it doesn't surprise me at all that you would be masturbating in utero?
There's actual scans of fetal boys masturbating in utero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, only boys, not girls.
Well, it's harder to tell with girls.
Yeah.
But with the boy, they actually could see the hand wrapped around the shaft, and in one scan it was up, one scan it was down. So they were actually manipulating the penis. So
that is hilarious.
It was,
But if you think about it, this is how we reproduce. So that most likely it had to be something genetic that would keep us, doing that. Whether that be stroking the shaft, choking the chicken, whatever you want to call it. See what happens when I take half a sip of wine. That course is going to be good.
Pleasurable, so that we will do it. Right?
Yeah.
If it hurt every time we did it, or every time we touched those parts, if they got burned or lightning went off, or something, we wouldn't do it.
No, you'd stop right there.
Pleasure was kind of built into the wiring there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So look at this, MILF Man, was there ever a time when you were single where you were ready to either give him some or just give him your number, and he did or say something to ruin it? Oh, so you're about to get the number from someone, and then did they say something to ruin it? Definitely that has happened to me. Yeah. Especially if they say something like an expectation that they want from me or something, I definitely can immediately be turned off. It is amazing that it's not that you guys have to skate on thin ice, but if you make a blunder, you can fuck it up. But especially if it's some demand.
One of my pet peeves is when a guy gets really cocky about his prowessness.
I'm so good in bed.
I could give you pleasure like you've never had before, and I'm thinking, really? Really? You think you know my body better than I do? I don't think so.
Really?
That's such arrogance. Arrogance is never hot. Never
no,
hot.
There's a difference between assertive and aggressive.
Also, and I know this is going to sound really bad, and I may regret saying it out loud, but being stupid. Just really being stupid. It's like, you got to be able to hold a conversation with me,
Right.
And because I'm a sapiosexual, so if I can't converse, there's nothing else going.
And sexiness is 90% up here, Sexuality is up here.
Definitely.
It's not what if you got a big dick.
Big dicks, big deal. The big dicks are a dime a dozen. But one of the there was a time that a friend of mine, this was a long time ago, we were at a club, and there was this guy across the room that was just absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, hot, sexy, flirty, asked me to dance. We danced, had a great time, lots of chemistry. And then he came over and sat down at the table with us. And then he started to talk.
Big mistake. Should have left you on the dance floor and then gotten your number then.
I remember looking at my girlfriend and going, tell him, shh, shh.
Tell him to just keep it, zip the lip. You're blowing it. You're blowing your chances.
Poor guy. I mean, he really was not bright. I mean, it was like, you know.
Well, this so I have a workaround. Like I had this guy who was gorgeous, and he didn't know any English. It was perfect. It's a perfect combination.
That's okay. That can be really sexy.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Let's see.
Not knowing the language is different.
Exactly. Yeah. Did that answer your question, Milfman? Let's see. Hurt Locker is saying, I'm a thick guy, so how can I be sexy and approachable? I think it doesn't matter if you're thick or thin, or it's all about your personality. I mean, I would go after a quote unquote thick guy as long as it's not like he's someone who just doesn't give a shit about themselves. You know, like there's a difference of someone who just doesn't even care to take care of themselves, because that's going to gross me out. I'm not going to lie and say I'm really into someone that can sit, play video games all day in their parents' basement. But if you're a little bit heavy and you're in good shape otherwise, and you've got a great personality and you use your sense of humor, it's a huge turn on. So don't worry about it.
Well, here's the list. One, you got to look like you just showered. Clean.
Yeah. You got to be clean.
Good, clean clothes.
Brushing your teeth.
That fit you. Clean teeth, good breath. Those are really important. And then give good eye contact. Don't get too close to people. Don't get right in a person's face.
Don't say stupid things.
Well, I mean, it's honestly, saying something stupid, we all do that when we're nervous.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be nervous about, tripping over their tongue. But give a little space. Guys that come right into your space and make you feel nervous.
Yeah.
That's never a good idea, especially a thicker guy or a big man.
It's intimidating.
We are taught to be afraid of men from the time we are tiny tots.
Right.
We are taught that the big, bad boogeyman out there is always a man.
Right.
And so anybody that we don't know, we haven't vetted, we're going to be a little bit nervous about. So just understand that we're going to be a little bit tentative. So make your way in slow. Give good eye contact without being creepy.
And then what I've been taught by Derek Pierce, porn star, then walk away. Walk to the bathroom. Don't be so easy and just hang on this person all night long. If you're in a bar, walk away. Then you come back again, but don't just hang there, especially if she's out with her friends.
Right.
Hanging there is annoying too.
Right. Yeah. Don't just come park your ass at the table.
Don't park your ass. Nobody asked you to, because you have the rest of your you have the rest of eternity to get to know each other. So give a little man of mystery thing. Don't play games, but a little man of mystery wouldn't hurt. Kevin asks, why do some older women believe that relationship with younger can't be practical or long-term? Do they think I'm just interested in sex? Kevin, I've been with the same guy for 12 years, and he's younger than me. It is definitely a viable relationship. Age and none of that shit matters as long as there's a connection there. So, no, it's not just all about sex. It can be, but it doesn't have to be that way. Do you agree with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes.
Sure, why not?
I think there are times when it is about sex. Both people know what they want, and
right.
They, that if it's mutual, awesome. Go at it. But I think you need to be able to kind of communicate. I mean, it always comes down to, can you even communicate that this is what you want?
You have to talk.
And
please.
You have to have a conversation.
Augie
all
says,
the time it should be about no.
It should not. Why do a lot of older women think that younger men won't be interested in them when in reality it's the exact opposite? It seems like misogynists just like to keep spreading this lie around. So the question really is...
Say that again?
Well,
what's the question?
Why do a lot of older women think that younger men won't be interested in them when in reality it's the opposite? So why do older women not believe that younger men could be interested in them? And it's true. He is right. Um, there are a lot of older women that think that younger men are going to be like, oh, she's an old lady, but they don't realize it's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. I mean, I'm sure you've been hit on plenty by a lot of younger guys, especially when you're, in different places, out with girls, or out, out on a vacation. You're an attractive woman of any age.
It's I don't think every young guy is interested in a more mature woman. I don't believe that, but I think many are, and I think that sadly, I think the beauty industry, and that it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation,
right,
that has tried, and that's pretty misogynistic to even tell us that we need to have these things to be beautiful. So that has really preyed on our fear of aging.
Right, and you see, there's very few movie stars that are a certain age. After you get a certain age, their viability goes down and down and down. And the bottom line is, right, it has to do with the woman too. I was actually married at the time. We went away to Vegas, and one of the girls had just become single, and she was like, young guy was like winking or hitting on us, and she's like, oh, that guy would never want me. And I'm like, what are you, nuts? You're a gorgeous woman. Why wouldn't he? But she was insecure because she, had a bad marriage, and the guy put her down, and blah, 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 blah. But the truth is that if you're confident in yourself, you are going to be the most attractive person there, no matter what age you are. If you're with a bunch of 25-year-olds and they're not confident and you're confident, you're going to get the guys. And with that, I rest my case.
Everybody in the room. You just need to attract people who are attractive to you, and you have maybe something kind of in common. It's impossible to please everybody. So, and it's impossible to be something that everybody wants.
Oh.
Why would you want that anyway? That would be too much work. So, I wouldn't make blanket statements like no older woman thinks younger men like them.
Right.
But I think women who've been in long-term relationships, who weren't in the single world after their 20s, now are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. A lot has changed in the world since then.
And it's
almost like you come out of a fog going, what the hell? It's like you were frozen in time, as in that mindset.
And then you go wild. Yeah, definitely. Like, I just remember, like, a lot of my friends that I was hanging out with were single after being in, like you said, marriages where that, usually sex at the end is, if you're getting a divorce, is not going to be good. And they just would go crazy.
No.
Like, sex was very important when you become single again. Now, here's what Isabella says. Experience counts. Older women tend to have had more life experience. Yes, we do. It all boils down to communication. As I've gotten older and throughout my 8-year relationship, our sex life has only gotten better. Woohoo! And because you listen to Sex Talk with my mom, that Isabella is a sneaky freak. Anyhow.
Yeah, I can tell you, after being in a relationship for 30, I'm trying to say, so we've got together 19, so 34 years. It just keeps getting better.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think we're both invested. We're both invested in keeping it spicy and interesting.
Yeah, and trying new stuff.
Right, and not. I was just counseling a couple earlier today about the kiss of death for a relationship is the sex routine. It's like a gymnastics routine or a dance routine, that you have this routine that you do this first and that first and then this first and then that first and then you then you get a little of this.
And by the way, that's fine now and then. It's fine to have that. Because sometimes you're just like, I just want some good old-fashioned vanilla sex, and it works. Even whatever, the same positions, you guys know each other for a long time, it works. But sometimes it's nice to spice it up a little, make it a little bit different, because that's what's going to keep your relationship, the spark, alive, so to speak.
There has to be some level of unpredictability.
Yeah.
That's why people cheat. That's why people swing. That's why people have open relationships. That's why people get bored. It's because there's no unpredictability. So if you can inject periodic unpredictability into your relationship, then it satisfies a lot of the needs.
Yeah, so the reason I was asking about the cuckolding is we talked to this guy who does that, and he said he loves it when his wife has sex with other guys because it makes when they come together, their relationship and their sex becomes that much more passionate. It's very sexy.
You know, that there's a lot of different terms. I'm not crazy about the cuckolding term, because the origin of that is it's about humiliation.
Right. There's a continuum, and
white man,
that's this way there and this way there.
Right. But the kind of the newer phrasing is hot wife.
Hot wife.
And yeah, hot wife.
I think I like that better anyway. I like that new phrase.
Guys that don't fight, but they have hot wives who are sexual, freaky creatures, and they love seeing their wives pleasured and have sex and be wild, and they can sit back and enjoy it from a different perspective.
They can actually be and they can actually be domineering too, as the watcher. Like saying, do this position, do that position. There's so many different varieties of that. It could go anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't usually work out too well for very long for hot wives, because that starts to feel like you're being limited in your experience when somebody else is controlling you. Unless that's already your slave master dynamic.
Yeah.
Where, you know, if you're a sub, that may be part of it. But if you're just a vanilla couple and all of a sudden you find yourself in these situations, most of those couples really refer to themselves as a hot wife couple.
I like it. Have you guys ever heard of that? Because I'm glad you told me that.
Look up hot wife.
No, I'm glad you told me that, because we interviewed a guy who he calls himself the cuckold, but we looked up the Urban Dictionary version, and there was a whole continuum of different ways of looking at it. And you could start out in the FetLife world that way, and I think they started out as just being swingers, and then they went into this area, had to do a lot with cream pie and who cleans it up. It was a fascinating interview, so it's going to be on pretty soon.
Ironically, and this is kind of I'll just tiptoe in the water here with all the white supremacy and racism stuff happening in the world right now. A lot of that stems from the fact that, and I'm going to risk it, hang on to your hat, gentlemen, many white men are very intimidated by black men sexually.
I don't know why you're skating around. People tell me that all the time. It's probably in my chat right now. Have you ever been with a black man? I mean, I don't understand. It's all in. There's so much. There's a lot of prejudice in that, and it's a lot of racism coming back from slavery even.
But white supremacy is trying to convince yourself that you're actually superior to somebody that you feel inferior to.
Did you guys hear that on YouTube? That was really cool.
So I'm just gonna land that out there and see what people do with it.
Yeah. So she was.
What is white supremacy?
White supremacy is
trying to feel superior.
Someone
you feel inferior.
And are you saying specifically about size or prowess, or what is that? There's no particular reason.
I think power, ability.
I'm gonna have to write this down. White supremacy.
It's another Nancyism coming your way.
Another Nancy. Dr. Nan said white supremacy is what? Is trying to feel.
Nancy makes me sound like a nut.
Trying to feel powerful over something you feel insecure about.
White supremacy is trying to convince yourself you're superior to a people or person you actually feel inferior to. Because if it weren't that, why the anger? Why the hatred?
I'm writing it down.
Okay. Why the
Well, I'll tell you why. Because I used to tell my kids this when they were younger. A confident person does not need to cut up and put down other people. So if you are not confident, that's the way you bully people into trying to make yourself feel better. It usually ends up not making yourself feel better even by putting someone else down, and you still don't get that satisfaction. The only way you're going to feel better is getting your own self-confidence. Karenism.
Right.
All right, we got some other questions. Here we go. Talk of Texas.
Okay.
Karen, have you ever been with a black man? See, this is why the questions. But he did make an LMAO. Okay. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And why is this so fascinating? Eric saying cougarism is trying to convince yourself you're superior to people you actually feel inferior to. Okay. Dr. Nan's voice is so sexy. Oh, your voice is so sexy. And Nan is bright.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Nan is very bright. I don't hang around dummies. Let's see. Hostile MGTOW is back in the house.
Somebody sounds surprised that a woman is smart.
Let's see. I'm sorry that my video is buffering. I have no control over my videos. I don't understand why.